What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Laugh and Death podcast. I am one of your hosts for this episode, David, alongside Fern and Alex, as always.
What's up,
y'all? What's up, everybody?
We are a conversational podcast based out of the Rio Grande Valley. Check us out at youtube.com/laughanddeath and at our Instagram at Laugh and Death podcast. Dude, let's just get into it, man. I want to talk about video games today, man. I don't know. I've been super hyped. Been listening to a lot of other video game podcasts, and I'm really depressed because I had already planned out my vacation for the spring because I wanted to play Resident Evil 3 and Final Fantasy 7 Remake over a 10-day vacation, and I'm finding out that all this shit got delayed. And then I was really excited about Last of Us 2, and that got delayed to May, so I'm like, fuck, there's not going to be any good time to take a good solid vacation to take some to play some video games. So yeah, man, let's just go through the list of the delayed games in 2020 so far. So like Cyberpunk got delayed. Cyberpunk 2077, which is like one of my most anticipated games of the year, got delayed to September, and I guarantee you it's going to happen during a crucial week for us. I promise you. Last of Us 2 got delayed till May. Final Fantasy Remake got delayed from March to April, early April. I think it's like April 10th. Iron Man VR just postponed until a further date. Then Dying Light recently got announced that Dying Light 2 was going to get delayed to the early or late summer, which that game was supposed to come out like this month or next month.
Jesus.
And that one looks really cool. I don't know if you've heard of Dying Light, but this one, it's like a zombie first-person shooter.
Yeah, I have first.
With this one,
I played the first one.
Okay, so you're familiar. So, in this one, you're gonna be able to make choices,
right,
where it's gonna affect the entire game. So, like, you can decide to like flood a certain area of the town, and for the rest of the game, you cannot access that part of the town, which I thought was really fucking cool. So
that almost gives me anxiety.
Exactly, because like what if you fuck something up?
Yeah, or you just don't know the outcome of the other thing, you know.
Yeah, but it also makes you want to replay it. And right. I heard that there's several choices throughout the game that will actually affect the entire game as a whole. So, I mean, if you think about it, you can have like 3 or 4 or 5 playthroughs with different like outcomes.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
some really played
cool combinations of outcomes.
Have you guys played the Mass Effect games?
The what?
No, I never got into them.
Mass Effect or whatever.
Oh no, I never got into that.
Oh, well, I mean, I haven't either, but I think in that series, like, decisions you make in the first game affect the second game, and then decisions you make in the second game affect the third game.
Oh yeah, I remember that feature.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was really cool, but I know if you hadn't played the first one, they give you like a little like scenario that how would you have reacted in this situation, and it kind of like it'll take like things that you did in the first game, even though you didn't play the first game, and like affect your current game. So it was pretty cool to see. But yeah, I never really got into the Half-Life series. I mean, not Half-Life, but Mass Effect series. Mm-hmm. But speaking of Half-Life, that's another game that I'm pretty excited about, the Half-Life Alyx, which comes out in March. And I'm like really tempted to get like a VR headset. I have the PlayStation VR, but I don't know. Certain podcasts are saying that they're more than likely guaranteeing that game is going to come to PlayStation now, either like later this year, maybe late next year. But like that's a must-have for me, so I don't know if I could borrow a headset from y'all.
What's the PlayStation Now?
A PlayStation VR is or what do you mean? PlayStation? Did I say PlayStation Now?
Yeah, you said PlayStation Now.
Well, PlayStation Now is like their Netflix of video games, so you can like you go into that store, you pay $10 a month, and then you can pretty much download any game that's on their list and play it. Like locally on your computer.
Oh, that's cool.
Or not on your computer, on your console, yeah. So it's really cool.
Did you just ask us for a VR headset?
Yeah, if y'all have one.
Fuck no, I don't have a VR headset. I mean, I have the one for your phone.
Alex's one is all sticky and stuff from all the from all the porn he's watched.
It's smelly. It smells like mayonnaise. Heated up mayonnaise.
It's all sweaty and shit.
So yeah, man. Is there anything y'all are looking forward to this year? I know I wanted to take time off just to play those, but I'm not going to have any. There's no good time to take vacation to start playing those games. So Are you all looking forward to anything?
I say that
Well,
I'm looking. Sorry.
Sorry, before we get into that, like, do you think that delaying the games is a good idea though? Like, would you rather have a finished product than a game that's just
Has
not
bugs.
as developed as it could be? Because I know they did that with that Open Explorer game. I forget what it's called. But there was always been like a big hype about it, and then it came out, and if everything was unfinished, and like it felt like an empty game. It was kind of like a space Minecraft game, but I forgot the name of it. Fuck. No Man's Sky. There we go.
Oh,
Oh,
No
and
Man's
then-
Sky. I see.
Yeah, and then later on they started updating the game to what they wanted it to be, and then, like, people were like, "Oh, it's really good now," but people were already burned by it, and like nobody played it really.
Yeah, but shout out to that developer. They continue to like put patches out and make it even more, I don't know, like accepting. So I heard about that game. The best analogy I heard was like it's like an ocean wide, but about an inch deep of like gameplay. So they were like, you can do pretty much anything and go to all these infinite planets and never see the same planet twice. And actually, like, it was great, but there wasn't very much to do. So yeah,
Just
it
like
was pretty crazy.
repetition, rinse and wash.
Yeah. Getting attacked
Like
by
everything
just-
looks different visually, but then you just kind of do the same actions and the same type of work, same type of thing. Because my friend had it, and I kind of saw the gameplay on it too. But I don't know if, like, from a marketing standpoint, if these companies are delaying for that just to get more hype, or is just because, like, Fern, most of the time it's just like fixing technical issues. Either way, I mean, I don't know.
I saw people on Twitter like being like, "Hey, this is a good thing because you want a game that's finished and like it's gonna run smoothly." And a lot of people are still like looking out for the developers or like the people doing the developing. It's like, hey, you don't want people to be stressed about this. Like, if they can take time to finish in a good amount of time and not be like pressed and like pressured to do things at like crunch time, like it's always good for everybody. So I don't know. I'm okay with things being delayed, but as far as games that I'm looking forward to, I really don't know. Like Last of Us 2, I haven't played the first one. I just watched all the cinematics from the first one on YouTube. So I'm looking forward to watching the cinematics for the second one on YouTube.
Dude,
It's a great game, man.
It
It is coming to PC, so I would
Oh.
definitely try it out when it does come to PC.
Dude,
But
I had played The Last of Us on PS3 I beat it in a week when I was visiting my brother when he was living up here in Greenville. It was when it first came out. It was a while back. And was it 2012, 2013 maybe?
Around that time.
Yeah, I came up here and my brother had rented it, bro. And he was like, "Yo, I just rented this game." He was like, "I'm going to be working if you want to play it on my PS3." I was like, "Yeah, fuck it." Dude, I got so deep into it, like so heavy into it, I fucking beat it in time for him to just like in that time of me visiting him, and like I went back home just like, man, that was a really fun game, dude. And then I know they redid it right for PS4, the first Last of Us.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play that, but I know there's like a multiplayer online thing now with it, right?
Yeah, the multiplayer is pretty good.
You have it for PS4?
I have it for PS3 and PS4. Yeah,
Nice, dude. Yeah,
I've played it a few times since it came out. I fucking love that game. The amount of tension that gets built, like in scenarios, because I don't know about you, but in video games, I absolutely hate dying. So the easier the game, the more fun it is to me. And so when I was playing that, there was no like easy mode. I think it was just like normal, but like the tension that they build with like the clickers and the people that are like trying to hunt you down, like, dude, I would have like my wife would watch me play this game like back in the day, and I would get like these fucking knots in my neck from all the tension, and like I'd have to stop and like pause the game so I can. But it was me overanalyzing things and like freaking out about it and stressing out. But yeah, man, I would have dreams about that fucking game, and like,
damn, man, that was 8 years ago.
it's one of my favorite games of all time. It's fucking great.
Yeah, that's probably
That's what I'm talking about. Like I've already watched cinematics. Like I haven't played the game, and I was still kind of like, damn, this is really good.
Maybe another thing I might be looking forward to is like, I played Dying Light, the first one, and that was fun, dude. Like I liked the feeling of like the first person parkour type thing, free running type thing. And I remember I got that same feeling from what's the name of that game for PS3 where it's like free running, like a girl that's free running through like a futuristic
Mirror's Edge.
Mirror's Edge, dude. Yeah, I played that and that was fun. And then it kind of gave me the same feeling, only you get to like create like weapons from like scrap and shit, and like fucking just slice zombies fucking heads off. And then like at night, so you can play during the day, right? And then like of course time goes on and like it becomes nighttime, and the zombies are more like furious, like stronger ones come out in the night and shit. And like it was a pretty fucking intense game. Like it was really fun. And I played with my brother too, and you can kind of go around together and like free run around the city and fuck up shit, right? So maybe Dying Light 2 is what I'm looking forward to, but there's been such a space between me playing the first one and then this one, like a time span of like not really playing that game. So I don't know if I'm just telling myself that because it's part 2, or you know what I mean? Like I kind of I need to look into it a little more, because that happens to me with like games that if I don't play a specific type of game for a long time, like I kind of get out of it. Like I kind of get tired of that, and it's like I'll buy it and then it'll just sit there for a while, and I just won't play it. You know, so I don't want that to happen. You know.
Yeah, it surprises me that when you actually talk about like single player games or something like that, because like I've loaned you like several games, like God of War, and like those games were fucking incredible. And I told you that the story was amazing, and you didn't give it like too much of a shot because you like to play competitively and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to try it out myself. I've bought it like physically, and then I sold it off, and then it was like $3 one time that I'm talking about Dying Light. It was like $3 like on PSN. So I downloaded it, and it's on my dashboard right now. And I'm just like, maybe I should give it a shot before Dying Light 2 comes out.
Yeah, I would, just to
right
see.
now I'm in between games right now. I haven't gone back to. I know I told you all last week that I was playing what's that? Borderlands 3, and I'm not digging it, dude. It feels so fucking janky. It feels like a fucking Xbox 360 game. I don't like the way it feels, so I might just say fuck off and go try something else, because I don't like the way it handles, man, at all.
Dude,
it doesn't feel
like the last game that I played that wasn't for a competitive like feeling or aspect, how you said, like the shooters and all that shit, was fucking Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And that fucking, and I loved a lot of the Assassin's Creed games before. Like I remember playing them on PS2 when one of the first ones came out. I think, right, was it PS2 for Assassin's Creed on PS2? Or was it PS3?
That was PlayStation 3.
Oh, shit.
That was 2008.
My bad. I thought it was on PS2. Yeah, I remember playing. My brother got it, and he got me into it. And then kind of playing some other Assassin's Creeds, but never fully trying to get to the end of it. And Black Flag was the only one that I really got heavy into it. And I was trying to get all the shanties. I was trying to discover, like, you know what I mean? Find all the hidden... I already forgot about all the shit, but like... that was the last game that I was like deeply into and devoted to, and like something like a game that's not competitive and you just kind of like take your time. Because I know you like to play games like that, David, like collecting all the pieces of whatever just to get 100% completion on a game. I know that's like the type of shit.
Yeah, I'm playing Black Flag right now on my Switch.
Yeah,
so
we talked about it last
I'm fucking loving it.
Yeah, it's fucking. I love fucking going out to sea and sailing and then making everybody sing. Like that shit's so dope, bro.
Hey Alex, have you seen the what's it called? DualShock 4 back button attachment that came out this week?
No, but I've seen.
It basically you plug it into the bottom of your controller and it adds 2 back paddles.
Oh yeah.
Like the scar.
That's not new though.
The scuff. It literally just came out.
Frankie has one. He was trying to give me one.
Frankie is a piece of shit who we should not talk about.
Frankie has one.
Podcast.
Like before I left, he was trying to. When he gave me this monitor that I have that I game on, he wanted to give it to me. I was like, nah, I'll just buy one later if I want it. But yeah, you just connect.
But was it a scuff?
Yeah, it's like the. I don't know if it's by scuff, but it's like it has those 2 paddles behind it, and you connect it to the back of your PS4 controller, and you connect it to your PS4, and it has those fucking paddles there. I've never tried it.
I know.
That seems like fun.
Xbox has a bunch of those.
Yeah, welcome to 2008, David.
Shut the fuck up. Look at the link, man. I'll be God damn it. Look at the link.
Okay, I'm gonna look at this link. Oh, okay,
it's
just like PS4's own version of it. PlayStation.
Thank you.
Like it's made by PlayStation.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's it, right?
Yeah, it's $30. It looks really good.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. But I mean, it's the same shit.
Okay.
I've never tried that, but I mean, because I kind of suck. You know what I mean? At fucking shooter games. So maybe it'll boost my suckiness, or I don't know. I know Frank. I keep saying Frank. I know Frankie. He fucks with that. Like he even has the extended analog. You know how you can put like those grips on your analog sticks to make them higher, to make them taller.
Yeah.
He uses that shit.
Yeah, he puts lifts in his shoes too, so he can look taller.
And he sits on a box of Kicks. The cereal. Yo, shout out to Frankie though.
Yes.
He sits on his wallet making that Costco money.
Straight
Makes
the
him
fuck
taller.
on his wallet. Yeah.
I haven't been really like keeping up with new games that are coming out, but there's a lot of remakes that are coming out, and I know the Halo Reach came out on PC finally, so I'm like debating on buying that one just because it was such a good game.
Dude, but your computer's not gonna be able to play that shit.
No, it's gonna run it.
You may
That's
just
what I was telling you guys earlier. Huh?
You may just have to look at the update details of that for Call of Duty.
Yeah, like I was telling you guys earlier that I bought Call of Duty and I could run it on my PC, and then it started like lagging a little bit, and then there was an update recently, and then it just like I was just like, yeah, your PC's a piece of shit, so fuck you, can't play this game. Thanks for the $60 though. Bye bye.
So wait, when you played on it, did you have a remote or did you use the keyboard and your mouse?
I could switch to back and forth. I just need to plug in the remote. I
Oh,
have
yeah,
my
but,
brother had one that was like a USB.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you can like plug it into the Xbox so it charges while you play, or like that's the way you use it without using batteries.
Yeah,
so
true.
that one I could just connect it to my USB thing and it'll work. But I could switch the settings for keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, but I was saying like, how did you play? Like with the keyboard and the mouse?
Oh, yeah, keyboard and mouse.
Oh, okay. Fuck all that extra shit. Nah, I'm just kidding. Dude, we need to fucking. I need to add you, man, so we can play. Because that's the only game that I've been playing as of recently. Is that new Call of Duty?
Yeah, man, I'll play with you. I'll just stand there for a bit, and then like 2 minutes later, you'll see me shoot at something that's not even there.
Just maybe look at the update details, and there might be something.
No, yeah, I got a
that shit.
notification that I need to upgrade my software for the graphics card, so I might just do that.
Yeah, I mean, as far as games, I also have not really been keeping up. Only like seeing posts about, like on Twitter and shit about the games. But like, I'm definitely out of the loop as far as like for what's to come up next, and and my interest is slowly fading. But I really like I just really like multiplayer games at this point in my life.
So what's your all's hype levels right now for the new consoles releasing this year? We got the Xbox One Series X that's coming out probably in November, and then the PlayStation 5 is slated for like a winter release, so some probably November, December. I wouldn't doubt that they come out within a week of each other, but I'm super excited for the PlayStation 5, even though there's nothing really announced for it. But like I've been telling my wife, like every time she's like, "Oh, let me buy you this," and I'm like, "Nope, just give me the PlayStation 5. I don't want anything. I don't want anything for Christmas. I don't want anything for my birthday. I don't want anything for Valentine's Day. Nothing. Anything you think you want to buy me, just put it towards the PlayStation 5. That's all I want. I don't want any backlash or anything. I just want a yes that lets me buy the PlayStation 5 whenever the fuck I want.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm positive it's probably just going to be an updated graphics and then faster memory, right? It's probably just going to make the operating system faster. That's it.
I hear the big thing with this console generation is going to be like the solid state drive, which means less loading times. And they're saying like no loading screens, like ever. I was playing Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man on PS4 like last year. And like they had some loading screens, like when you like flash travel or whatever. And they were like maybe 15 seconds long. And they're saying that when they put that game on the PlayStation 5, it was just like instant. So I think it's really cool, like that feature at least. Yeah, and then they're also saying that like maybe if you have a Call of Duty, you can install whether you want to play just multiplayer or the campaign. So you'll have like two separate files.
Oh, that's perfect.
So you don't take up too much
space,
memory
right.
on your on your.
Isn't that funny though? fuck, 15 seconds is so long to wait. I want it instant right now.
What, like a loading screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. I feel like I like loading screen sometimes, just like
so you can
just to
scratch your
keep it
nuts.
like, yeah. Go get some more taquitos or something.
Or you could just press start, right?
Oh,
And pause the game.
no, dude. Once you're in it, you're in it.
Once you're in it, you're in it. Nah, fuck that. I'm down with the no loading screens. Whatever makes shit faster, dude.
Yeah.
Getting into a fucking oh my god, a party chat on my PS4. And I know, granted, it's like the first PS4 still, so it's old as shit, and it's been through a lot of sticky, messy situations with me. And getting into these fucking party chats, it takes forever to load, and I'm just like, what the fuck, waiting there. Like, I know it's not a part of a loading screen, but just how slow the process is, like just an act, like moving around and shit, like a function, you know. That shit pisses me off. Like, it just pisses me the fuck off.
Do you think we need new consoles right now?
I don't think so. I don't think we need new consoles. Honestly,
I'm not excited for new consoles either. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not. What I'm really looking forward to is like more VR stuff. Like, I know, I want to get into that, and it's not really gaming that I'm interested in doing VR with. I just want to watch porn and not just kidding,
dude.
I want to do all these like the what's it called, the VR chat and stuff, like those things, just talk to new other people. But every time I get into one of those rooms, I'm just like quiet, like I don't want to talk to anybody, and like that's a time where you can just talk freely because you're basically anonymous, like, you know, like, and it's not like I'm gonna say anything bad either, but
yeah,
like it's just like another way to socialize and like try to.
You know what's dope? I actually recently went to this, not recently, but when I first moved up here, my brother was like, hey, dude, we're going to go to, I think it was called The Void. And it's a part of like the Cinemark thing. Like, it's an extra experience where you put on a VR like headset and a backpack and you kind of choose your journey. Have y'all done that?
No.
So my brother took me on, because he's done it before. He was like, dude, I want to do the Star Wars one, you know? And at this time, I still hadn't gotten into Star Wars. And now I'm actually just getting into Star Wars. So it's fucking dope shit. And so we did the Star Wars thing, and like you have a blaster, and like you're a stormtrooper basically. Or you're like not a stormtrooper, you're like in disguise as a stormtrooper to get inside the enemy base and infiltrate and shit. But like they made this whole, like, you can't see the stage because you have the VR on. I'm sure everything's blank and just walls and shit and doorways and passages like that, you know? But with the VR on, you're like in this different universe, bro. Like, it's so fucking cool. And we walk around and shit, and they kind of like, it's just very interactive. Like, it was super fun. And I recommend y'all doing that shit. Like, if anything, in McAllen there might be some, is there anything like that? The Void, have y'all heard of in McAllen or Edinburgh?
No.
At theaters? No?
No.
Damn, dude, that shit's so fun. I need to send y'all a link. But that is like one of the funnest experience I've had with like a VR type thing. I mean, I've never really had an experience with VR except for porn, but this shit was fun as shit. Like shooting, like even like, because you put on like a chest piece that it's strapped on to your chest, and then you have the backpack on. And on the chest piece, there's like,
does it vibrate?
It vibrates, so you get shot. Like, if you get shot by a beam, like you feel it vibrate on you and shit. And then there was a part of one of the scenes where you're kind of like in this little platform that floats around, right? It takes you to a bridge, and like it's like a volcanic area, and you can feel, like, I guess the room that you go into to get on this platform in VR, it's like they have the AC on, like, so it's heat. You can feel the heat on your skin and shit. Like, they really try to make you get into the experience. So it was like, it's really cool, dude. Like, it was really fun. Like, and they have other they have like a Harry Potter VR experience. They have the Star Wars one. They have two other ones. I think they just added one, but I need to look back into it. But dude, that's like really fun. If you ever find somewhere that's nearby that has that thing, I think it's called The Void, I would check it out. It's super fun, bro.
I'm looking at their website right now. They have a Jumanji, Reverse the Curse, Avengers, the Star Wars one you're talking about. Pretty cool.
Man. And there was towards the end, spoiler alert, but towards the end, if anybody does that shit, Darth Vader fucking comes out, or like you hear him, and I'm like, oh fuck, bro, oh fuck. I'm looking around, and then like he legit looks like he's just getting close, like he's walking towards you and shit. But then I don't want to say the rest, but he was walking towards you, and like I legit feel like panicked, bro. I was like, oh my god, and I kind of backed up, and I hit like the wall that I was in the arena they set up, and I'm like, oh shit, no, I was all scared and shit, bro. It was fun.
Yeah. I like those videos where people
God,
are doing the demos at stores or something, and then like they panic and they try to like run away, and so everything's like strapped to the head, so they just like fucking fall.
Yeah, I was.
Or they try to lean on something.
Yeah, I was afraid that might happen to me.
I saw a video on Reddit the other day where it's like some guy mapped his whole apartment in his like in a VR game that he made, and like he's sitting in, like it's the camera angles side by side, like the GoPro strapped to his head, and then like whatever he sees in the VR, and it's 1-to-1 like his apartment. Like he walks around and sits on his couch, and it's like facing the same way as his TV and stuff, and like he can control the TV in his VR headset, so like it turns on in the VR headset, but in real life it's off.
What the
And
heck?
I was just thinking
So
like
fucking pointless, dude.
well, yeah, but I was thinking like you can basically live in a cardboard box if you wanted to, and then it's gonna be like this magnificent. You could decorate it however you want, make the TV as big as you want, like
yeah.
just live like fucking Ready Player One. Isn't that what they did? Like in the Oasis or whatever it was called. Like they lived in like RVs stacked on top of each other, but they were all living in mansions, like in their own world.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. I understand that, but like the fact that he did 1-for-1 his own apartment
In my
Yeah.
VR, I can turn on the
was
TV,
fucking stupid.
and in my real home,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
off. So I'm saving on my electricity bill. Right?
Yeah. I think it was more like an experiment, but I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like I thought it was pretty cool. Like, hey, I want this room to be red now. Let's make it red.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Which I don't know. Yeah.
Which I don't know. No, yeah, that's pretty sick, honestly, though.
I know this is like really off topic, and we can go to something else, but like, dude, I had a nice little snacky the other day. Fucking delicious. It was Jack in the Box's tiny tacos. Fuck yeah,
Don't
dude.
even talk about food, man. I'm fucking hungry as shit right now.
I'm starving right now, but you get 15 of these little tiny tacos, dude, which look like a little corn chip, but like it's folded in half and it has a little bit of like beans and like meat in it, and then you dip it in their like buttermilk ranch or their little lime avocado sauce that they give you with this little thing. You can get them loaded too with like cheese on top or hot sauce and stuff. Fucking incredible, dude. Fucking great. Can't recommend it enough.
Can't recommend it.
It's only like $3 for 15 of them.
I went to
There's a Jack in the Box they made by my house, and I've been looking at the menu. Just want to go try it out. They have a lot of like weird shit that looks so good though.
It's stoner food, dude.
Yeah.
straight the fuck up. It's like it's any food with cheese. That's it. Cheese, bro. Dude, I had Burger King the other day, and that shit fucked me up. Like I haven't had Burger King in so long. My brother really likes Burger King. It's salty as shit. Everything's so salty, dude. And like, I had a chicken sandwich, and I just fucking like it fucked me up, man. I don't fuck with Burger King.
Hey, Alex, are you losing weight? Because in your videos you look really thin.
Yeah, I'm not eating at all, dude, because it's just Burger Kings everywhere. No, I'm just kidding. Nah, I don't know. I'm still going to the gym and shit. I'm just trying not to. I've been like packing lunch for work more than like lately, more than going out and shit. Because it's like, fuck, man, I spend a lot of money. I can spend a lot of money on food. You know, like I know myself, so I've just been buying like my groceries and shit and cooking more actually.
That's good. Yeah. Yeah, I can tell, like in your videos, you've lost a lot of
Dude,
weight.
oh shit, I'm actually, yeah, if anything, so the t-shirts I would buy at the Van store would be extra larges, and now I'm wearing large. So I'm like, oh shit. Like I've never been
But
able to
you're
wear
an
the large.
extra large man.
Huh?
You're an extra large man.
I know.
Dude, that's so funny. Like all the weight that you're losing, I'm finding.
Damn it, Fernie.
Put it on myself, you know, carrying it for you.
Dude, and there's like there's a gym here at the apartment complex, which I go to, right? It's the one that I go to most of the time if I'm like feeling lazy. But there's also Planet Fitness that's like maybe 15 minutes away. And this Planet Fitness, dude, is fucking massive. Like it's the best Planet Fitness I've been to. I've been to like 6 different Planet Fitnesses.
Is it like a 2-story? Because I imagine it being 2-story for some reason.
No,
Why?
when
'Cause
I
it's
put
in
on the
the
VR,
north?
I turned on the TVs and I made the room red. So no, it's not. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Sorry, it's one. It's just one story. But the story
Okay,
is
crazy.
no, I'm just kidding. It's really nice, man.
I got a crazy tangent real quick. So we have a friend that works at a gym, and he just told me recently that that there's a guy that goes to the gym every day, and he practically lives at the gym because he's homeless. So hear me out. So the guy lives in his car, right? He is a delivery driver for a pizza place, and he's also a Lyft driver and a Uber driver in the valley. And so this guy lives at the fucking gym. So he's like shredded, right? But like he goes there to like go to the restroom and like bathe and stuff like that, and then he goes and he fucks off into his car and goes to work and then comes out, and then that he's always there. And I was like, wow, like this guy. Oh, and also he has a cell phone, obviously to be a Lyft driver. So like he's got it going right now. But like I just thought it was like crazy. Like he totally adapted to his situation and is actually like hustling, you know?
Yeah, fuck.
Me, I would have fucking committed suicide or something like that. Like if I had ever like hit rock bottom. I'm not even kidding, because like I'm mentally weak like that. But like fuck, dude, like this guy is getting pussy too.
Priorities.
At
he's
the
like-
gym.
Like he's getting it. Like, and it's like ridiculous to me. So I just like, wow, like he's like overcoming adversity and
See,
stuff like that.
he needs the VR headset with the living room in it, you know.
You piece of shit.
Straight the fuck up, man. Make that bitch fucking red up in that bitch.
He's fucking living a lavish life, just living in a fucking mansion.
A mobile
That's
one
fucking
too.
funny.
That's crazy, man. Fucking
Drives
yeah.
fucking crazy.
drives with it
Working
on.
through adversity and shit. Hey, I guess speaking another quick tangent. I kind of wanted to talk about it, but because I know I told y'all, and this was off the podcast, but I guess since we're here conversing and shit, might as well say it on the podcast. But I do feel like I'm going to also start a solo podcast sometime soon, and
About what?
I want to do it about like, I don't want to be like not to sound cheesy, right? Like not motivational, because who the fuck I am, and like who the fuck am I? And I haven't accomplished shit right in life, but like more towards like people dealing with like anxieties and self-doubt and shit like that, like kind of be more like that and try to get input from people and like shout them out on shit. I kind of want them short and sweet though, like between 10 minutes and like 10 and 30 minutes, you know, and just kind of different things, like talking about like, I wouldn't say mental health, I would just say more just like, you know, like loving yourself and finding self-worth and like being okay with, you know, just talking about shit like that, and not to be motivational, but I guess talk about my experiences and then friends' experiences that I know and shit, and like kind of things like that. You know, I want to talk about stuff like that, like life experiences, and like just wanting to push people towards us like the right direction of whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like I want to do that. So I talked to my girl. Shout out to her for this too, because I told her like, hey, I want to start a podcast, like a solo podcast, and like make them short and sweet. Like, what do you think a good name would be? And she was like, you should call it No Eye Contact. And I was like, why? She's like, because of your anxiety. Because like she knows that like she's seen me have panic attacks, you know, when we go out to like a public place. It's very rare when it's happened, but funny enough, it happened one time. It happened with her when we were at the mall and shit. And I told her like, yeah, I don't like when I go like shopping and shit, I don't like making eye contact. Like I'm looking towards the ground or some shit. I don't know if that's like, that makes me like less masculine or some shit, or just like, you know what I mean, or some shit like you don't have confidence or some shit. But it is shit like that. Like I'm afraid of like engagement with a stranger and then something going sour or some shit. So I just put my earphones in and I'll look down. Like, so she's like, yeah, call it No Eye Contact. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I was kind of thinking of starting a podcast called named No Eye Contact. Seems like fun to me.
That's cool. Yeah, that's really cool. What up?
That's good, man.
But what I'm hearing is that the Laugh and Death podcast isn't go on hiatus again.
No, we can do. I can do both. What am I going to
just
schedule?
fucking
I'm going to
with you.
schedule the Laugh and Death podcast and my podcast on the same day, so I don't record y'all shit. Right? That's what I'm.
Yeah.
That's my master plan.
No,
No, bro. I love.
no, I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, that sounds like a really good idea, especially because you'd always do like those Snapchats. And it's just like, follow your dreams and all this other stuff. Like it was really like I don't want to say inspirational, but it was that, you know, because I don't think you were trying to go for like inspirational like Snapchats or anything. You're just talking your truth, like, you know.
Yeah. Thank you, man. And another thing, when I get, like I tweet, I've been a little more active on Twitter. I try to be, at least, with posting shit, but I know I haven't posted shit at all. But I tweeted something about like, just like, I think I just put like, if you're gonna do it, right? And then one of my friends that I met like through making music down south, he I'm sorry, I keep saying down south. He fucking he messaged me and he's like I really needed to see this today, man. Like I feel like I've been seeing him kind of like doubting himself and like the music stuff and you know what I mean, wanting to continue like writing and stuff. And he had messaged me. He's like, I really need to see this today, man. Thank you. Like that's all he sent. And I was like, oh shit. Like you never know who needs to read something or hear something or just see something to re-inspire them to just stay on the same path or just to start on a new path for the better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it doesn't always have to be like a super deep, meaningful thing.
Right.
Just like simple words like that, like, you know, yeah, because you're most of the time you're like a 99% there, and it's just like that 1% of self doubt where you're just like, oh, I don't know, and then just any form of like reassurance is what makes it possible.
Can you all tell me what the hell's wrong with me? Because like, oh
boy.
So I don't know. I feel like I'm like in tune with my own like emotions and stuff like that. But like stuff like that doesn't like speak to me. Like seeing people say like, oh, like try harder or anything like that. Like I don't know, man. I've just always been like, and I'm not talking shit about you or your friend or anything like that. I'm just saying like about me in general. Like I don't know. I can give 0 fucks if I get a birthday card for my birthday, and some people make it a point like, oh no, you need to get a card. Like I don't care. I don't give a shit about like gift, like a card that says like, hey, keep your chin up or anything like that. I don't know if it's something in my head or if I just feel like there's no value in it, because I it pisses me off when it's like, oh yeah, I bought them a really nice card. I was like, oh cool, you spent $9 on a fucking card that says something you could have typed out yourself. Like I don't know. I just feel so like,
you see.
So I'm asking you all as unprofessional doctors, like diagnose me. Like what the fuck is wrong with me?
To relate, just to give you like.
Is there something wrong with me?
I don't know, man. I'm not about to tell you like this is what's up, but just to give you like my experience of why I feel like I'm inspired to want to do this podcasting and what I talked about is because I'm the same way as you, man. Like I don't need anybody to tell me like you said, oh, congratulations. Like if anything, I've always like I've always broken myself down 2 steps or some shit. Like not in a humble way, like not to say that I'm humble and shit, but I've always just expected nothing. You know what I mean? Like why? Like nobody owes me shit. You know what I mean? So like to hear like this experience with this guy, just to see somebody like random message you and say like man, I really needed this, and I wasn't even trying to tell that specific person, but like the idea of like some other people appreciate that type of shit is maybe what I like to be the influence on. You know what I mean? Like I like influencing other people and shit, and like maybe I just like hearing myself talk, and like I'm pretty sure like I'm pretty good at talking. Like I can hold a conversation if I'm really interested in it, you know, if it's something like I'm really strong about. But I'm the same way as you, David. Like I don't need anybody to give me the pat on the back. Like if anything, I've gotten a lot of the pat on the backs though. Like when I've done this music stuff, like when I've performed somewhere, like a stranger will come up to me and be like, dude, like you're really awesome. Like, where are you from? Like, just to be modest, like they're like, your music's super cool. Like, can I follow you? And I'm just like, wow, like it's surprising to me because I always set myself back. Like I'm not shit. Like I'm not worth shit. Like I'm not, it's not, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but at the same time, it's like a contradiction because I'm putting myself out there for strangers to see. So it's like a weird thing, but I'm in the same boat as you. Like, I don't need that extra stuff, but when it does happen, it's kind of like, it uplifts me, and like, it like makes me think differently. And it makes me remember moments where I was like, man, like because I have a lot of lows of just like, dude, why the fuck am I doing anything? Like, why does anything have any purpose? You know, like everything's pointless. You know, I can just be just like that too. But like, I'd rather not. I'd rather just keep choosing the side that's like, let's keep doing it. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's just me though.
I mean, I'm more of the like, oh, you give me this and it says like, hey, keep your chin up or whatever, or feel better or anything like that. It's just like, to me, it's just words on a paper, and I feel no attachment to those words, even though like I do need to hear that or whatever. Like, even if it was just like, happy birthday, have a great day or whatever. Like, to me, it's just like, why would you spend your money on a piece of paper that had words on it? Like, I don't give a shit. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the whole gift card industry, and like, I just feel like it's a whole money grab, and I feel like there's no real like thought into wanting to say something like that to someone. If all you're gonna do is just sign the fucking bottom of the fucking card and just like, here are these words, my name, and a date. You know, like, I just don't give a shit about that stuff, and it just pisses me off. Like, I feel like maybe that's why I'm not like artistic like you, or like as motivated as you, like, because you can, I don't know, man. I think if you can, you're a self-starter. I'm not. Like, you had to push me to do this stuff, and I don't know. I feel like I'm too selfish, or maybe I'm third generation, don't give a shit. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I just feel like I'm super excited for you to start this venture and stuff like that. And I'd rather tell you than write it in a fucking card and tell you like, hey, Alex, great job.
Right.
Like, you know, I'll text you, I love you every once in a while, like, just to tell you, you know? And it's just, I don't know. I feel...
I want to keep adding to it a little bit. But Fern, did you want to add anything?
No, I think I'm the same way. Like, where I don't need validation. Like, I don't expect people to be like, "Hey, you're doing a really good job." Of course, it's always like great to hear it, but I always shy away from it. So like, I don't know. Like, a lot of like self-motivation stuff, like I feel like I lack. So when people are like, hey, you can do that, like whatever, sometimes I don't take it as like a good meaning thing. It's just more like an added pressure that I don't think I need sometimes.
I feel you.
Like, you know, but it's always different, like case by case. So yeah, I'm not really into like the whole like or even saying like, hey, I appreciate you or whatever. Like, even though like I want to, sometimes I'm just like, I don't know if it's gonna make things better.
Right.
You've gotten better about it though.
Oh yeah.
I feel like
yeah, like yesterday it was just like somebody was like, hey, you did a really good job on something. I'm just like, oh, okay. And I was just trying to like, I was cringing away from it, or not cringing away from it, but like I felt like I was getting into that mode of like, oh, thanks, but like I don't know what to respond to it, you know?
Yeah, like I've told you, like, I think you're doing an exceptional job, and it gets awkward real fast between you and I.
Yeah, I mean,
and so I understand, because like I'm the same way. Like, okay, a group of our mutual friends, everybody that we know, was like congratulating us me for like achieving a milestone or whatever, and I just like put my head down. I was just like, nah, it's you all. Like, it's everybody else. Like, I don't want to take claim for anything, because I really don't deserve it, I feel. So, and it's just like, I didn't do it single-handedly or whatever. So like, I like to share, you know, the wealth, but it just gets really awkward for me too. And so like, whenever me and Fernie, I guess in that way, me and Fernie are the same type of person. Where it's like, oh, here's some feedback, and you're just like, no, it feels really uncomfortable right now. I'm gonna leave, or say something inappropriate.
Yeah. Like I've always felt, you know me too. Like I can, my mouth, like what I say can get really like inappropriate, you know. So I don't know how to control sometimes the shit that I say. But like recently, some people over here that I've met and shit, like they follow me on Instagram, and they're like, oh, dude, those beats are dope. Like, and I'm just like, oh, thanks. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I know I'm putting it out there, like, for somebody to react to it. But at the same time, I don't know, like, what to say to them. I don't know how to take a compliment ever. And I guess another coworker heard that stuff on Instagram, and then they came up to me and asked me, like, oh, like, you make music and stuff? And I was like, yeah. So like I actually sent to my Spotify, like not really anybody else knows that I actually like write music too, and like recording myself, like vocals and shit. And then I showed them, and they come up to me the next day. They're like, "Oh, dude, I was playing your music in the car when my mom picked me up, and my mom and I had met this person's mom, right, when they came over to the store, and they were like saying like, "Oh, who's this?" They're like, "Oh, it's the." They said El Gigante, like, because I'm real tall, right? And they're also like Mexican American Hispanic, right? They're like, El Gigante, and and the mom was like, "What? No way! It sounds really good, right?" And like, and who's that singing? And or like rapeando, right? Is what she was saying. She's like, "That's also El Gigante." And they're like, "What? Like, what the heck?" So like, literally 2 days ago, I was there at work, and then like they brought their mom in and their brother, and they were like, "Hey man, we heard your music. It's super awesome." And their mom was like, "Are you still writing? Like, when are you gonna put out more music?" Like, just so random, dude. Like, that's the randomest thing, and I'm just like, like, I don't know what to say, you know. But I was like grateful at the same time, and I was just kind of like very vague and like short with my answers because I didn't know what to say. Like, I never know, you know what I mean? Like, I'm never prepared for shit like that. But I'm just like, but
That's
that
fucking
little
awesome,
that
Alex.
little thing of like, man, dude, like, I don't know. It's like it like turns on the flame again. You know what I mean? And the fire inside of me, and I'm just like, fuck, bro, like. And now I'm just like, man, I need to fucking start writing again. I need to start producing some more. I need to fucking start recording. Like, fuck, man, I need to get back into it. And it just like reignites that shit in me. So I'm like, man, if I'm getting this shit, like, I don't know, like, I feel like I want to give it back, and like I want to you know what I mean, to random people out there, like, or just even my close friends, like, who maybe lost. Like, I know a lot of talented musicians, just artists and shit, and like sometimes they'll lose their like path or some shit, and I'm in the same boat of like, fuck, dude, I'm in these ups and downs, but I'm like, fuck, dude, I want to reignite you to remember what you're passionate about, and like why it made you tick a certain way, and why it made you feel such a like a specific way, you know what I mean? And I don't know, like, that's why I want to start this shit, like, because I want to influence and like help somebody else. Like, it seems like a fun thing to do, if it's just through like audio. Or even just through, like, bro, I'm pressing fucking a key on this fucking keyboard in a video that's fucking a minute long, and somebody's seeing it somewhere else, and they're like, bro, that shit sounds dope. Like, I want to write to that. You inspired me to fucking vent my fucking thoughts and my feelings and like my childhood trauma on this fucking beat. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, fuck, bro, that's so fucking inspiring to me. That's so fucking cool, you know?
The bleep bloops going all the way hard.
Bleep bloops, bro.
It's fucking dope, dude. So, really quick, like you said, like, we've been talking about like inspiring, like you inspiring, wanting to inspire others. Like, you were mentioning something earlier about like where these actors were getting their inspiration from the actors.
Oh yeah.
Roundtable. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
It's like this thing on YouTube. I spent a lot of time on YouTube. The ones that I've seen in the past, they'll have comedians in one spot. They'll have directors all together. Like, they have all kinds of different people, actors, comedians, just all kinds of artists and creatives, and they'll just sit them down, and there's an interviewer in between all of them, and they just kind of like throw out questions. And it's not like the format is so cool, dude, because it's not like they'll just be like, hey, they'll say, for example, Tom Hanks, right? They'll ask him a question, and then if somebody butts in from somewhere else, they'll be like, well, you tell us about your experience, right? It won't just be like, let him finish the question. Like, other people will just start chiming in and shit. It's just like a massive conversation, dude. And it's really cool. So like the recent one I saw, it had Tom Hanks, Adam Driver, Robert De Niro, Adam Sandler, Shia LaBeouf, and Jamie Foxx. And it was that type of format. Everybody was just kind of throwing in their thoughts and their perspective on things. Like, dude, that's the funnest thing. Like, if you could just put me around 4 other producers or some shit, and we all had different like digital audio workstation softwares, and we just kind of threw in our own like perspectives on things, like, the conversation could go forever, bro. Like, we could just talk about it forever. But that shit seems like fun too. But I suggest checking it out, dude. It's like a round table with all kinds of creatives, like I said, if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, I think like if I were to get you, Andy, Anthony, and like Spence in a room, and y'all talk about music, y'all could just go
Straight
for
the fuck
hours,
up.
dude.
Like that time we had Andy on.
Yeah,
We had
'cause
fucking
I- it
Andy
was-
on here. I just kept asking him like all this shit, you
Yeah.
know. So so I actually found the
And then
channel.
met Spencer, y'all were talking about that.
It's called the Hollywood Reporter. Yeah, and that's the that was the most recent one 3 days ago. They have one here. Oh, Tom Hanks on another one. James Franco, Gary Oldman. That's so sick, man. Like they have so many different roundtables. But what'd you say before that? Before I interrupted you?
Oh no, that you and Spencer hit it off at when I went to Dallas.
Oh yeah.
And you met up.
I was
with
just
us.
like interested in shit.
Yeah,
intrigued,
we're talking about
asking him all these fucking questions. Yeah, that shit, dude. I can go on for days. Like anytime I meet up with Eddie Skunks, when I like, if there's a hiatus between us, we just as soon as we meet up, we just talk about all right, what do you like? What are you doing? Like, what have you done? What have you written? And then like, have you heard of this new album? Have you heard of this like new single? All this like, we'll just do music. We'll just go off on it forever and kind of just talk about what we love about it or hate about it.
Can I move on to a topic I want to talk about?
Do
real
it.
Quick?
Sure.
So ever since I was little, I was always afraid of dolls, like those like porcelain dolls, specifically. You know what I'm talking about? Like the Annabelle looking motherfuckers.
Oh, I hate those.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time, when my sister was like 2 or 3 years old, she's like 18 now, but when she was that little, I had a dream where like this life-size Barbie kidnapped her, and I remember like her coming into the house and being like, "Oh, hi," and then like just picking her up and running away with those stiff legs, like, you know, just. Anyways, I recently saw a story where a couple in Houston was complaining that they have a haunted Elsa doll, like from Frozen.
Oh shit!
And that they got it like 10 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, whenever the movie came out, and that it was always like you press a button and it speaks English, like it says like phrases from the movie or like it sings a song and they let it go. But then it recently started talking in Spanish, and there's no setting to like change it from English to Spanish, so they were like freaking out, and that they've never replaced the batteries, and even when it was like in the off setting, like it would still talk in Spanish and sing in Spanish. And they're like, "Oh, right, it was probably defective," so they threw it away. The next day, it was in their house again, like just chilling there on a bench in their house. And they asked the kids, like, "Hey, did you put it back in the house?" They're like, "No, we didn't." And they're like, oh, "Okay, that's weird." So they put it in a bag, put it inside another trash bag, and then put it at the bottom of the trash can for it to be taken away on trash day. And that they left on vacation and they came back, and the doll was waiting outside their house for them. So, yeah, and now they send it to like a friend in Minnesota, and the friend in Minnesota like taped it to the front of his Jeep. He's like, "If it's gone, then I know where it's going." Like, fucking haunted ass fucking doll.
That's fucked. Let it go.
Yeah. It doesn't want to let it go.
Does. They don't. Yeah, the doll doesn't want to let the family go.
That's crazy, man. I don't know. I don't believe in like ghosts and stuff. I just feel like there has to be a reasonable explanation for that. But that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, that's like fucking Chucky style stuff.
I mean, it hasn't hurt anybody yet, but I mean,
I feel
No, and it's a pretty big doll. Like it's one of those like 2-foot dolls.
I feel like the unnatural side of the universe, the world is like it exists for sure. I've like witnessed weird shit. I've had people tell me like crazy shit that they've experienced. Like I don't know why it. I don't know. Like that's. Do you have a link for that or something?
Yeah. I'll put it in the chat. But like it's weird because like it's in all these scary movies, like with dolls especially, like Chucky, like they're always trying to like get rid of it, you know. And then it ends up in the house, and they're like, "Well, what happened?" Like you can't explain it, and then the kids are always just like, "Oh, my doll's back." Like they're like oblivious to how weird it is. Yeah, and the couple was saying that they went on vacation like after they threw it away, right? And that it was just hanging outside, and the little kid was just like, "Oh, Mom, my friend's back." Like not my doll's back, like my friend. So it makes me think like maybe they talk to this doll, and the doll talks back like
Right, like they.
other than what it's preset, like
Yeah.
you know. I don't know. It's so weird.
Today.com.
Yeah, they need to send that thing to Disney and figure it out.
Oh, this is in Texas.
Yeah, it's in Houston.
Oh shit, bro. Fuck this doll.
Yeah, and then the family was like, rather than believe that the doll had turned into Chucky or Annabelle, the family initially thought it was a prank, but they were like, they asked him like, do you think it was a prank by your friends or something? He's like, no, like the doll has like a marker stain like in the like wherever, and we checked the doll and it had the same marker stain. Like nobody would have known to put it there unless they knew like it was there.
Either the doll is haunted or some crazy psychopath has dug the doll out of the garbage that was already taken away and broken into my house/property multiple times. Shit, man. That's yeah.
Do you guys have like anything like that? Like, because I remember there was a while when I was convinced that there was like a little like duendes following me and like stealing my stuff.
Bro,
But I was just basically like losing stuff.
I feel this like the duende thing maybe. I don't know if it's that, but like even over here in this apartment complex that I'm in, like they have these big hallways and we're on the 3rd floor, so I have to walk down these hallways and shit. And the lights are like motion activated. And so there's this one stretch of long hallway and there's 3 lights that are motion activated. As soon as I exit my apartment here, the first light turns on, right? And then I start walking. I pass the next apartment down the hall. The second light turns on, right? And then if I pass the other apartment or the next corner, like as soon as I hit the entrance of these big doors that they have, that light turns on, right? So like I'm walking, or I get out of my apartment, first light turns on, and I'm walking towards that corner for the 3rd light, right? And I hit the second light. I pass the next apartment next to me. The second light turns on. Before I even pass that, like, the other light turns on over there, and I'm like, what? And I walk down it. I'll take the corner for the elevator, and there's nobody there. And I'm just like, all right, there's a rat or some shit, right? I'm just like, yeah, whatever. But these hallways, bro, every time I walk through these hallways, I kind of stopped. I used to just put my earphones in and walk down the hallway and not care, right? But then I don't know what, like, I felt like I saw like a shadow behind me or something. So I started just like, oh no, there's something here. So I stopped walking through the hallways with my earphones on, right? So now I'm walking around and like, dude, I don't know if it's just me being crazy or just paranoid and nervous and shit, but I feel like every time I walk through these hallways, maybe it's echoing a certain way. I feel like I hear footsteps behind me. And I'm just like, is it my footsteps that are making the echo in the hallway? Because it is very echoey. Yeah. And I'm just like, dude, I just always feel I shit you not, there has not been a single time where I've walked down this hallway and I haven't looked behind me because I feel so fucking creeped out, bro. I shit you not. Every time I walk through any of these hallways, bro, I look behind me. Like if I'm going to see I don't know, like my imagination goes wild and I feel like I'm going to see some fucking crazy shit. I don't know, man. Maybe it's just me like having a crazy imagination more than likely. But I just that shit's fucking creeps me the fuck out.
I've had that same feeling before when I went to go visit my girlfriend at the time in Laredo. She used to go to the university there, the Laredo International or whatever it's called. And the dorms are kind of like apartment, like they have like your own room connected to like a restroom connected to each other and then another room. So it's not like 2 beds in one room. It's just one. And she would tell me that like every night, like at 3 p.m., like it's always like that. I mean 3 a.m. like there's always those that time, like the spooky time or whatever.
The devil's out.
That somebody would either knock on their door, like her or her friends, or she'll hear like a ball, like a bouncy ball just bouncing in the hallway. And I was like, what's that about? And they supposedly to them, like they did some research and they found that back when the dorms were being built, like one of the contractors brought their daughter to be with him for the day, and that she ended up like falling into like a ditch and it got covered in concrete and stuff, and that the only thing they found of her was the ball sticking out like from the concrete, and like they dug it up and they found her in there.
Jesus.
So apparently like her ghost like haunts the dorms. And I was just like, okay, that's funny or whatever. Like it's a cute story. And then like I stayed with her one night, and like sure enough, like at around 3 a.m. like we heard like a little. It was like a faint little knock. Like I was just like, what the fuck? And I thought maybe her friends were fucking with us. And usually, like in the bottom of the door, you can see like the light coming in from the hallway, and there was like no shadow of somebody standing there. And I was like, that's weird. And then, the next morning, like her friend was just like, yeah, it was so weird because like I was covering myself with my blanket and like it just kept getting tugged. And I thought maybe it was like stuck on something, like on the bottom, like the bed, like the foot of my bed. And then I was just like, she was like, I was already falling asleep, and then like my blanket just like ripped out of my hands, like it just went into the floor.
Jesus.
And she was like, yeah, I just couldn't sleep anymore.
I don't fuck with that, man. That shit.
I wanted so bad to be true, but like most of the time I'm just like, you're just fucking with me.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Like, I just want to like give a logical explanation to everything, you know. And I don't know, maybe it's just sometimes we fucking can't, man. I don't know. Fuck. The universe is so massive and wide. How do we know we're not getting something from somewhere else, you know, that's influencing our reality and shit? I know David's all against all this shit.
Entirely, yeah. No, I think if ghosts exist, things would go viral, especially with like this whole like fake news bullshit. Yeah, people would be like, no, man, it's real, or like Bigfoot exists, or like all that shit nowadays. Nah, man. If it was real, we would know about it.
I mean, shit.
Yeah.
Politicians are already fucking hiding, news media already hiding shit from us right now. I mean, important shit. Why wouldn't they hide anything else?
Well, I have a theory with the conspiracy corner theory. With the coronavirus.
Oh, shit.
You know, you guys know what it is, right?
It's like where if you drink too many coronas, you get drunk. And just kidding.
Well, it's basically like it's a virus that spreads from animals, to humans. And at first they thought it was just like a self-contained thing where like you had to make contact with the infected animal. But now it's just like it's human to human contact. And basically what it does, it's basically like a very severe fever that you get, or sometimes you get like flu-like symptoms like a cough, or it could cause pneumonia or something like that. And it could cause like kidney failure also. Like you just get sick and sometimes you die. But when I read the book World War Z, like it was just like a little virus, like a little fever, a virus that caused a fever, like, and it started in China. And I'm just thinking like, this could be like the fucking outbreak for the zombie apocalypse. Like at first it's just like, oh, it's no big deal. It's just like a little fever. Like it's no big deal. Like don't worry about it. And then slowly it's gonna turn into like, oh yeah, like a lot of people got infected by it. Like, but it's no big deal. We got it under control. And then finally it's gonna be like, yeah, people are fucking eating each other. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Can you imagine like if a major media outlet put shit out like, all right, the United States, it's like it's airborne, it's spreading, like we're fucked, you know? Like, I mean, can they I think at some point the pushers and the power makers of behind the media outlets and shit, they have to just keep everybody at bay. And like, because if you have pandemonium across your society, like everyone's gonna go crazy. There's gonna be fucking riots. There's gonna be crazy fucking shit happening. So I mean, you're right. Maybe this could be like, it's the same shit with like the Ebola virus, maybe, bro. Because like I shit you not, that shit had me on edge, dude. Back when I was working up here, in Wichita Falls, I was like working in fabrication and shit, and they were talking about the Ebola virus, and I was like all fucking paranoid and had anxiety for no fucking reason, because they were saying like in this area that I was at, there was like in Wichita Falls, they were saying like, oh, there's cases of the Ebola virus and all this shit, and I would always go to Wichita Falls, and I was like, man, I'm fucking scared. And like I came to visit Greenville with my brother and my sister. And we went to go shopping at a mall. This is at like the hype of the Ebola virus, like being on social media and in the media, like on the news and shit. And like me and my sister go into a store. My brother's getting food and shit. Me and my sister are going to a store, and I'm walking around, and I feel weird. I just feel weird, you know. Like, but I think it's just my anxiety. And then I look down at my hand, and I shit you not, I start bleeding from my nose, bro.
There's
like
blood.
Straight up bleeding from my nose, bro. And I never get nosebleeds, dude.
Shit.
I'm like, what the fuck? I know I pick my fucking nose a lot, but I've never gotten nosebleeds. Like, I'm not a person to. It's not normal for me. Like, you know what I mean? It has happened, but it's like, it's just like, dude, that shit happened, and then I just feel blood going down my face, and my sister looks at me like, because she's also like nervous about this shit, and she's just like, oh my god, and dude, I swear, I shit you not, my first word out of my mouth, Ebola. That's what I said to her, bro. And I got, dude, I was so nervous, like I was having a panic attack, bro.
Just imagine somebody like looking at you and then just be like, "Oh, this guy has a nosebleed. That's weird." And then you just say Ebola.
Exactly,
like,
bro.
What the fuck,
dude? We were like in the Kirkland, so like, I'm sure some fucking white lady would have been like, "Oh my god, he's infected." And I went to the fucking restroom, dude, and like, I just felt like the urge, and you know me, to fucking shit, right? So I fucking go to the restroom, take a big old dump, and like I come out and I'm totally fine. I'm like, oh shit. So 4 years later, wait. This isn't 24. 6 years later, I'm still here. But now it's the coronavirus, and that shit is not fucking. I'm not fucking with that. But shit, man, who knows that shit? So they showed the first thing I saw was it's China based, right? Like it was from China. Like there's outbreaks over there.
Yeah, it's from a region that it's like it's a heavy like shipping area, I think. So they said that because it's so like crowded and busy, like it's just people don't have good sanitation
I see.
standards. So that's why it started there, and they're worried about it because since it is such a big shipping hub that people can easily move around and like spread it. And the Chinese New Year is coming up too, so a lot of people travel like international.
Don't order from Wish, motherfuckers.
And
I'm just kidding.
and like the link you sent right now is just like that. There's a case in LAX or something, like a suspected case in LAX. There's one in Seattle, and I think there was one in Reynosa, across the border from us in Mexico. But I just saw an update that the guy that was in Reynosa tested negative for the coronavirus.
Oh, he just showed up. They were like, he just had coronas in his pocket. That's what it was.
But yeah, like you saying, like you were worried about it. Like a lot of people were like on Twitter, basically were saying like, I don't know why you guys are worried about it. Like it's all the way over there. Like it's not gonna, like the vaccine's already like 3 months away. Like it's probably not a big deal and all this other shit. But it's like, you never know. Like the case being like suspected in Reynosa, like which is like less than 15 minutes away. It's just like, oh, okay, that's a little scary. Because it can just be next to you at any moment and you don't know about it, you know?
So another thing to add to this whole fucking disease thing, like I've been seeing memes about it, and I had asked y'all, I'm surprised that y'all hadn't seen any, but there's this meme here, and I don't know, have y'all seen Uncut Gems with Adam Sandler yet? Okay, so there's this, it's a new movie. Well, they're using a scene from the Uncut Gems movie, and it has Adam Sandler's face, right? And he's just staring off. And it says, that's history right there. You understand? But the caption of the meme is, 2020 is here. But you realize that 1720, 1820, and 1920 had a massive plague outbreak. And it shows him, that's history right there. You understand? And it's like, history repeats itself, man. Who knows? Maybe we got the fucking plague outbreak going on this year, and we're all going to fucking die.
Well, it's funny you say that because I think I mentioned it before, how like with global warming, there's a lot of like tundra and just ice that has been melting. I think I saw a headline. I didn't read the article because who reads articles anymore? But that there's like a virus that humans have never experienced before, like being like just released into the air from it being in the permafrost or like in ice that's never been melted before. So that's scary, but you know.
Yeah, they're super bacteria that are like in that ice. Yeah. That's crazy. There's like no cures for. Dude, okay, so I searched the 1920 plague and the second result was 1920 plague meme. That's so fucking sad.
I told you, bro. I'm surprised you hadn't seen them. It's all over Facebook and fucking Twitter. Dude, it's like going viral. Bro, I just know that tonight I'm going to get fucked up off that Dos Equis virus, bro.
Fuck yeah,
I got some Dos Equis. I got some Dos Equis last night because me and my brother were like venting to each other of like whatever life and shit, you know. And it was like a rainy day. We were just sitting here, and I was like, man, dude, like, I was like, let's go get some beer. He's like, yeah, fuck it. And he's like, hey, you want to go play bingo? And they had a bingo thing here for all the like residents at this apartment complex. I was like, yeah. He's like, fuck it, let's get a 12-pack of Dos Equis and shit. And I also got Corona. And then we got home. We played Call of Duty until it was time. We go out there, dude. It's a fucking packed house, bro. Like, and like they had dope ass fucking prizes, bro. They had like, it was like 5 prizes, and they had one of the prizes was a badass ninja fucking blender, right? A ninja blender. Another virus was another virus. Oh, dude, it's in me, bro. I can feel it. Another prize was virus. It rhymes, or I'm just an idiot. So another prize was a $50 gift card for this place here called Urban Value. It's like a little grocery market store thing that has like snacks and beer and shit. And it's here at the apartment complex. And I was like, dude, that's so dope. Didn't win it. And then another prize, the final prize was a $200 gift card to Amazon, bro. What the fuck? And this fucking bingo was free, like, for anybody to go play. It was a free bingo, and they had pizza for you, bro. There's like no fucking losing. You just show up, you know? And that shit, there was that. And one of the worst, I hope none of the residents of the apartment complex hear this shit. Nobody gives a fuck about us. But one of the prizes was a fucking wreath. Like a decorated, like a wreath for like a doorway. You know what I mean? Is it a wreath or a wreath? A wreath, right?
Yeah.
So it was a wreath.
It's a wreath.
And and it was like made by one of the residents. And like, I think the person that won didn't even shout bingo. Everybody shouted bingo when they won. And the person that won was like kind of low bingo, like real low. And everybody's like, hey, shout it. And they just went up there, not even excited about the wreath, fucking assholes. But I just that's one thing I wanted to talk about today.
Wow.
That we had this bingo. It was just funny to me, like being in that room with like all these random people, like the shit, I don't know, the shit we do like for fun, the shit humans do. That shit was fun.
Yeah.
The shit was very fun.
But I like how you were like, it's really cool prizes, like a blender.
Bro, the blender's so dope. You can juice.
Dude, the wreath is badass, dude. Y'all are talking shit.
You can hang it on your door.
David,
Fuck yeah.
it's because you're a homeowner, David. Get the fuck out of here. Nah.
Yeah, dude. For real.
Bro, I fuck with the blender, bro.
You're
Fucking
a
make some
bunch of
smoothies in
assholes.
that bitch, brother.
That's insane, dude. Well, with that, that was another episode of the Laugh and Death podcast. Again, check us out over at youtube.com/laughanddeath, at our Instagram at Laugh and Death podcast, and podcast services across the globe, like, what is it? Google Play Store, Amazon Podcasts, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. So, yeah, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Appreciate all the love that we've gotten over the last couple weeks. And,
See y'all.
we'll see you all next week.
Check it.